This is the J-Hawks Sports Network, powered by Heartland Technology.
Welcome aboard on the J-Hawks Sports Network for a final time here in 2024, but not for the season. I should clarify. That joke always gets old. Anyway, welcome aboard as we have high school boys basketball tonight. Jesup girls got the victory over Gladbrook-Reinbeck. We'll see what the boys can do against a size difference, but not a very deep roster with Gladbrook-Reinbeck, as they, however, have come in so far with the record of 4-1. Considering their basketball season started right away when their football season was done, because they were in the state championships for 8 players. So we'll see what the Rebels bring for the Hawks.
Yeah, I expect it to be probably a game similar to what we just saw on the girls' side, where Jesup was able to close that one out with the victory. But these two teams here, I would guess, also fairly similar in ability and size. You know, they got a 6'5" underneath, a 6'5" senior in Michael Boyd, and we've got 6'4" Parker Masteller. Other than that, I mean, fairly similar across the board. So one of those games we just got to wait and see what happens.
GR coming in, like we did say, at a 4-1 record. Only loss has been to Grundy Center. That's in their Nickel West pod as well. 4-1 overall, 2-1 in conference play. They have faced so far this season Sumner Fred, victorious over AGWSR, as well as North Tama, South Hardin. They'll come back from break with the homestand with Wapsie and Hudson. Jesup, however, been a little bit of a rougher start than maybe what we've seen in previous years, but they're a team, I think, we're seeing them still work through some bugs here early in the season, but once we get into later part of January, February, when you really want to be clicking, I think we're going to see some good things from the Jayhawks.
I sure hope so. Yeah, I agree with you. They're, I watched them against Union the other night, and there's some times where I see something really nice, and then there's other times where I'm like, ooh, that's they got a long ways to go, but they definitely have talent. They just got to get everything going in the same direction, and like you said, hopefully as the season goes on, they'll put those pieces together and have some success.
Ryan Treptow, he was marked in the Waterloo Courier this week as one of the Cedar Valley players to watch. So he averages 24.4 points per game. Let's turn things over to Dan Fox for our starting lineups here in Jesup.
At junior, number 15, Hudson Clark. At senior, number 33, Drew Eilers. At senior, number 45, Hunter Roberts. The local coach, Brett Mangan. And now for the Jayhawks, a senior, number 2.
Starting lineups are complete. Luke, give us those again.
For the Gladbrook-Reinbeck Rebels, we've got a 6-foot senior guard, Brandon Mathern, number 3. A 6'1" senior guard, number 12, Austin Mathern. A 5'10" junior guard, number 15, Hudson Clark. 6'1" senior forward. I apologize. A 6'3" senior forward, number 33, Drew Eilers, and a 6'5" senior center, number 40, Michael Boyd. For your Jayhawks, 5'9" senior guard, number 2, Paxton McCone. 5'10" senior forward, number 5, Nick Moore. 6'3" senior guard, number 10, Ryan Treptow. A 6'1" senior forward, number 11, Landon Vogel. And rounding it out a 6'4", sophomore forward, number 44, Parker Masteller.
So underway, GR did get the tip, unable to convert, so Ryan Treptow will bring that towards that south basket, right to left in front of us here in the South Gym. We're on the upper patio. I'm Nate Clayberg, that's Luke Baldwin. Anthony Baugh on controls with the magic suitcase, Eric Clark on camera, and Nick Moore held up at that free throw line looking for an opportunity. Vogel, he's got some ball handling skills, looks to find the paint, gets an opportunity to Treptow. Masteller, he could have taken it, but instead dishes it out to McCone and Jesup. They're waiting to score as well.
Yeah, this could be a battle underneath. GR really has a couple of big boys in Eilers and Boyd, both seniors. They both have some height, but they've got some meat on their bones too.
Under 7 and a deep shot. That'll get Jesup's fans.
Vogel.
Give them the opportunity to sit back down if they wish after that shot drops from Vogel. That tradition of standing up till Jesup scores, at least for the parents anyway. The adults in the stands, but GR, Brandon Mathard, he follows up with the same 3. Treptow back in. Vogel eyeing for an opportunity in the paint. You got some size you're fighting up against here, Luke, with GR. But Masteller baseline off the board, gets his own rebound, drops it, and goes to the free throw line.
Pass to himself off the back of the board and takes care of business, gives himself the opportunity to three-point play here.
That's how it was written up.
I think it was. I agree with you.
First team foul.
And he will make a 3.
6-3, Jesup with the advantage, coming out of the gates sharp. We talked with Coach Smines at halftime of the girls' game. And when you look at against Union, against earlier in the week and last Friday against Sumner Fred, those teams came out of the gate and they couldn't miss. It was hard to catch up from there. And they were fighting up against some size too.
Yeah. And like we talked about in the pregame, Jesup's a team they're just still trying to get it figured out. I guess probably most glaringly on the offensive side. Sometimes it's a little difficult to try to figure out what they're running. But again, you have that. We're still before Christmas here, obviously just right before Christmas, but they're still trying to figure it all out.
Nice pull down, Nick Moore. Nick Moore's he's a defender and a rebounder that just kind of comes out of nowhere. And he's going to try and get on the board, just misses that shot. GR takes it back towards that north basket.
And we've talked about Nick's speed and quickness previous in the season. He is a kid that can get up and down quickly. Really nice move by Hudson Clark there, getting to the rim.
Just busted through traffic. Confident. Got it to fall, and Treptow clears it, but is saved by Moore. Talk about speed again. Now Vogel's looking to convert on that save, and it doesn't happen for Jesup.
Nick Moore making us look like a couple of geniuses up here with that quick thinking and quick reflexes.
Clark on that far side. Into Eilers, push up from Boyd, and he will be fouled, I believe, by Treptow.
And Boyd's he's a wide load down there. Looks like your typical Midwest farm boy.
Jumper outside, nice shot, doesn't go. Paxton McCone with a rebound. Down floor. There's a connection that Ryan and Vogel would have when they're on that floor, and Masteller, he took a 3, and especially a guy that size, he can take it inside and he can shoot it from outside. Eilers comes baseline. Masteller prevents some success that way, but they may find it on the outside. They don't. Rebound to Boyd. Off the board, no good. This is a fight.
Yep.
Now Treptow, he
Body.
forces his way in, draws that foul. Actually, yeah, does draw that foul.
Yep. Got him with the body. We've got number 30, another senior forward, 6'1", Cameron C. We saw his presumably sister in the girls' game earlier tonight.
Baseline, Nick Moore caught underneath. Masteller outside 10-footer, no good.
That's a nice little shot. If you can get that to go down consistently, that's going to be dangerous.
Shot for GR. They go up by 1 for the first time. Basket drops from Eilers. .342 to go. Vogel almost sees that taken away. Got to get him out of the lane. Masteller drops in. Can't get any traction there either. 11 on that shot clock. Dish off. Left-handed bounce back from Treptow. Back the other way. Neither team has taken a timeout yet, and that's a first travel call we've seen. That will go against GR.
And for the first time tonight, we see Brennan Oshner, 5'10", senior forward for the Jayhawks, step in. He's going to take his place underneath the hoop there, now up to the top of the key.
He knows how to hold his own down low.
Yeah, he does.
Trying to hold some guys out defensively.
A little miscommunication by the Jayhawks there. He's a funny kid, man. I don't know what it is about him when he goes down. He goes down so hard that, and this sounds terrible, but it makes me chuckle each time it happens.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I don't know what game that was. He took it hard. He took a bad hit.
Yeah, it was that
against
moving,
Denver.
Was that
against
moving
Denver?
Screen. Yeah, the kid lowered his shoulder and just leveled him. And he bounced right back up. I mean,
and deep shot.
He reminds me of remember those toys growing up where you punched it went down and bounced right back up? He reminds me of one of those.
Matherin had a deep three. Extends their lead here in this first quarter. Jesup holding tight at 6 for quite a while.
Oh, nice.
And a nice block by Treptow underneath. Takes that away from Eilers.
Eilers was going up strong with that, too. I thought he had a dunk coming for a minute.
You look like in his eyes that's what he was going to do.
Got the old mullet going.
3 opportunity from Matherin.
Got it.
Goes in. He knew it was going. He was already arms up when he was leading away. 9 points for him.
So this is kind of what we've seen out of the Jesup squad this year is they go on these little droughts where they just can't get anything to fall, and then they just allow a stretch of points by the other team and just kind of bury themselves. Nice pass inside by Treptow to Vogel.
Vogel looked at dishing it out, but he said, no, I'm going to take it.
I thought he kind of tweaked his ankle there coming out, but seems to be no worse for the wear.
13-8.
Coach Smines, bottom of the screen, directing traffic, giving orders to his players, and potentially maybe even a few to the refs. Not orders.
Suggestions.
Yeah.
Strong suggestions.
Second time.
Another deep three. Keep it away from him, Brandon Matherin.
Yeah,
that is 4 3-pointers for that man.
You got to close out, defend that perimeter.
Under coaching 30 seconds here first quarter. Very quick stanza. Oshner, shoulder in, gets it to go. Give credit to Brennan.
Hey, nice no call by the refs too. There was a lot of Emmy-winning acting on that play. So
he was committed. Brennan, give him credit on that.
Yep.
Deep three again, not good this time, but a follow-up.
Got to box out.
With Clark, gets it and takes it. 18-10 is where we're at. And that one was a quick quarter.
Yeah, Coach Smine's not going to be happy, especially with that last second shot. You know, that's just a lack of boxing out by the Jayhawks. Can't allow them to come in and get that second chance put back like that.
Leading scorer, 12 points, Brandon Mathern. All 3-pointers, Jesup 5. And that's just for Vogel, who's been averaging almost 11.5 points per game, 33% from the field, 33 from beyond the arc. Drew Eilers, the leading scorer for the Rebels, 14.3 points per game, 87% free throw shooter. Michael Boyd, 13.5 points. Brandon Mathern, 10.8. Also leads in assists with about 3 per game.
And for the first time tonight, we're going to see Gage Wymore, number 1, the junior guard for the Jayhawks. We usually see him before this point in the game. This is the first time he's been out here, correct? Okay. Thought maybe I missed it.
Well, I think that first quarter went so quickly.
Yeah.
Joe didn't quite find an opportunity to get him in. Yep. So give Paxton a little bit of break. It's been a go game. And
Wymore, he's been a bright spot on several occasions this year. Boy, Moore just hanging in there to get that rebound. Couldn't get the put back.
Good follow up there from Eilers after that missed basket.
Strong play by the Rebels. But Gage Wymore, he's been a bright spot numerous times this season. Dropping, what did he have, 4 3-pointers in a game not so long ago. I think the last time we were on this court, potentially.
Shot in from Cy, coming off the bench, trying to get some points there.
Just ignoring me.
Official had to think for a little bit. Stay with GR. No, and I think Denver was the last game we were home with.
Okay.
Back in
Must
the
have been
6th.
an away game then?
Yeah.
I thought I was just talking. You weren't even listening to me, because that's kind of my thing.
Well, I know eventually you'll catch up with the flaw that you're looking to make, so people just hanging on.
Shout out to Heartland Technology, who helps to make this all possible with their technology support as well as their personnel support. Of course, we got Anthony Ba up here, the man behind the magic box. But they have been making this possible for quite a few years now, so we appreciate their continued support and investment in Jayhawk athletics and extracurriculars as a whole.
GR 20-10 is their advantage right now, and a whistle blown, and that's going to be a travel call.
Also, shout out to our man behind the camera, Eric Clark, Sir Eric Clark. He was knighted recently, so we do call him Sir.
Although it was done on the internet.
He paid for it.
Well. But Zach Knutson did it, so I don't think it really counts.
Haven't seen any comments from Zach. He's probably shaving his back or something at the moment.
Sounds about right. 6:03 to play, first half. We'll talk to head coach Jordan Conrad, girls basketball coach, here at halftime. Review tonight's victory over GR.
Tell you what, he's got to be a happy camper tonight. They needed that was a good win for our girls. You know, they've had some success this year, but that was a quality ball club they beat tonight. And those games take a lot out of you. I'm sure those girls will rest easy tonight, but be able to come away with a victory like that's a big deal.
Treptow outside. He has yet to score tonight, Luke.
Yeah, I think he wanted a foul there. I didn't see one.
Looking for another 3 gauge. Wymore covering Brandon Mathern, who's got 12, all 3-pointers. But
boy, they just can't miss.
Outside shot drops in for Boyd.
That was a flat-footed shot from the free throw line. Didn't look like it stood a chance, and nothing but net.
It's been hard for Jesup to get a basket to fall. They're getting opportunities. Vogel leans one up. That one's bounced off the back of the rim. Under 5 now. Corner with Cy. Comes out of bounds. Will stay with GR.
I like GR's offense. It reminds me of what we ran back in high school, where they run that baseline back and forth.
And they again find that 3-point shot. And Coach Smines, what's a timeout? 15 total points now for Brandon Mathern as he has found his rhythm. And we'll see if Jayhawks can close that down.
Yeah, 15 points with, what do we got, 3-4 minutes to go yet in the first half. That's not a pace that you want the opposite team to be in. That's a 40-point game if things get out of hand here.
Well, I guess somebody is listening tonight, Luke. Joining in.
Who? Oh. Mr. Knutson.
Yeah.
No, that's Zach.
I thought he had an allergy for those things, but apparently not.
Wes is Mr. Knutson.
Treptow struggling offensively. He was under the weather on Tuesday against Union. And I'm sure he's still trying to come clear of that illness. Moore gets it back out to Treptow, approaching the 4-minute mark. He'll decide to take a shot right side.
Jesup really, they're just struggling all the way around to find at the bottom of that net right now.
Eilers backboard no good, and rebound to Masteller. GR is quick in the paint. They've got a presence. Now Vogel takes a little,
there you go,
little head shake at Eilers.
Yeah, we needed that.
And gets it to go.
Take the lid back off that rim.
Approaching 7. .320. Top up with Cy. And Eilers. Bust in Austin Mather, no good. Vogel finds that rebound, waiting for the coast to clear. And now Landon looks like he's going to take it on his own, get tripped up. Go to the free throw line on that shot.
Sometimes halftime just can't come soon enough. And that's when you got to persevere, dig in, try to scrape back some points, bring that margin just a little bit closer together, and come out in the second half and see if you can make it happen. Sullivan, Abe Sullivan in for the Jayhawks. McCone back in.
Missed shot there, under 3 minutes.
Abe Sullivan, a 5'10" sophomore guard who we've seen quite a bit this year.
He's physical.
Yep.
And another rebound for Vogel, hangs on to that. Mattern tried to take that away. Treptow triple team, wide open to Masteller. Dish off, no look over to Vogel. 3, no good. Eilers with the board.
Good open look, just cannot get it to go.
Again, not a very deep bench at all for Gladbrook-Reinbeck.
No, but man, they've got some players out there, and they've run some really nice sets. That little double screen they just ran. They didn't get it to go the first time there, but that was a pretty play.
2 minutes. Treptow, wide open opportunity for Abe Sullivan, doesn't roll. Brandon Mathern sitting with 15 points. He
Gonna be a charge.
gonna get called with that charge. Nice heads-up defense, making that set. But this escalated quickly.
That it did. The Grinch who stole Christmas in the house. Looks like he's dropped a couple inches.
I'm
over
surprised
the
you
years.
don't have those jammies.
I kind of want them now that I've seen them.
You can probably find it somewhere. Rim no good. Masteller trying to get a hand on it. So did McCone, and almost went out of bounds. And GR with about 70 seconds here, slowing things down.
You know what I want? I want some jammies with the trap door in the back, you know?
Surprised you just haven't made your own. Deep shot no good. Eiler's rebound, follows up with a drop.
I think you got to be like 80 before you can wear those.
So you didn't wear your sweater tonight, and you didn't bring Marpoles with you.
I did think about the Marpoles and I forgot them. We'll bring those out after Christmas.
Yeah, you had a lot going on.
I did.
Ball's loose. Boyd can't hang on to it. Comes out of bounds. 34.3 to go, first half. And it looks like we got some young basketball players at halftime.
Awesome. We haven't seen that much. Of course, we've only had, a couple home games. And then what's going on? What's going on with Jesup this year? It's like somebody hate us in Des Moines. We have hardly any home games. Same thing happened in volleyball.
Outside to Vogel. Eiler's covering him. McCone finds a chance in the paint, draws the foul. That'll be the fourth team foul for GR.
Go to line and shoot a pair. But, yeah, we only have a couple games after Christmas.
I guess
there's more than a couple.
There's concentrations in there, so 6, 7 home games through January, February.
Oh.
Senior night will be on January 24th. That'll sneak up on us. All of the senior banners are on the wall across from us. Quite a few seniors between cheer and basketball and manager staff.
Definitely lose a fair share of talent, but at the same time, we're seeing on both the boys and girls side getting some younger people with good minutes. Got some talent coming up.
Vogel takes it away. 2 seconds on that clock. Last second doesn't go. Abe tried to follow through, and it's a 29-12 score here at halftime.
That was a tough half of basketball for the Jayhawks. You said it pretty well. Things escalated quickly, and they need to get into that locker room, regroup, talk things over, and see if they can come out in the second half and change their outlook.
We will talk more about this game right now here in a little bit as Luke Baldwin will take the headset away and hand it over to head coach of the girls team, Jordan Conrad, who steps in. His girls winning tonight by a score of 48-44. And Jordan, that was the win you guys needed heading into the break.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, that was a big win. That's a really good team that we just played. There's a reason they've won. They only had one loss coming in tonight, and they've not even really had many close games. The one close game they had that, they lost to Grundy Center, and I think they were, a player short that night. So, not at full strength in their only loss. So that's a really good team, a really good win for us early in the year.
Yeah, and you look at your scoring sheet, and, Nesbitt had 10, a couple people in foul trouble, but, you had some players that really stepped up and played some good team ball.
Yeah, that's what we talked about when after the game. That was probably our best, start to finish team game that we played. And we had a lot of people step up and make plays throughout. We talked about, in the locker room that at the end of the game, we had kids that stepped up and made multiple winning plays throughout. Whether it was somebody getting a rebound, somebody being strong with the basketball, creating a jump ball, somebody going to the line making free throws, somebody creating extra possessions on the offensive end, getting a tip out and letting a teammate go run it down, and making great decisions and swinging to somebody open so they can knock a shot down. Those are their winning plays that you have to make to give yourself a chance in games like this. And we didn't make those, frankly, in our close games versus Hudson and Denver. They made the winning plays in the key moments, and we should take a lot of confidence away in making winning plays against a really good team tonight.
A couple players that really stood out to us that may not necessarily end up as you look at your scorebook, but I think Jaden Bowes almost had a really good game of her career, or the season at least, of where she was at and what she needed to do to make some things happen.
Yeah, she was good for us tonight. Her defense, she had a couple of games this season where her defense has really improved. I think she's taken a big step forward in that this season, really worked on that. And she hit couple big shots from us outside tonight. We talked to her at the half and told her, hey, shoot it really confident because they're going to leave you open and you're going to make them pay for it. And she did. She stepped up big, made a couple of them for us. And then late in the game, we drew, we're trying to get the ball inbounds, and we draw something up for her to flash to it. She executes it perfectly, flashing to the basketball, not running away from it, really strong with it, gets fouled, goes to the line, makes one of the free throws. Just another one of those small winning plays that make a difference in the game.
Talking to girls head coach Jordan Conrad, they win 48-44 tonight over a solid Gladbrook-Reinbeck team. But Coach, we haven't talked on the Sports Network for a little bit. It's been a minute since we've been home, not since Denver, and that was a loss 40-36. But they've been to Owine, been to Sumner Fred, been to Union. Talk about those stretch in there with your team.
Yeah, I think that was a really good stretch of games for us. I think we found a way, found some things offensively that we like a little bit better. The first couple of games we were still kind of trying to find our identity a little bit on the offensive end of how we didn't want to be so stagnant with some things, and we didn't do a great job as coaches of doing a good enough job coaching how we wanted some of the movement. And I think after those two losses that we had with Hudson and Denver, we started to kind of figure it out a little bit. We've moved better and haven't been so stagnant on offense, which has been really good. And we've had a couple girls have big games there. I don't know what numbers have been, but I think Nesbitt's had 18 in one game and 19 in one of those games. She's been really efficient for us on the offensive end. If she gets an open look, we love that. Especially if she gets it in that 15-foot range and in, she's really tough. So, and I think Emma Zabel led us one night. She's been really good for us on the block and been able to step out and hit a couple shots for us. I can go up and down this roster with people making. What's great about the girls is I think they're really bought into this team concept of it. Because if you go back and watch key stretches in these games, especially the close games, when we played Hudson, I think our first close game, it was one group of kind of 6 girls rotating in for the whole fourth quarter. And then we go play Denver, and it's a little bit different variation of 6 or 7 girls rotating in. And then tonight, it's even another little bit different variation of girls rotating in tonight. And, we've talked about this. We got a group out there that's making a run. We're going to stick with them if it's late. And, you're going to have to be a big person about this and just make your impact from the bench, because you can still have an impact on the game from there. And I think we've done a really good job of buying into that.
Yeah, you've got, it's funny we say this, you've got a different team even though you have a bunch of people that were on the team last year.
Yeah, but
describe that. It's a different team,
absolutely,
but with the same players.
Yeah, we lost a couple players, but there's a lot of pieces back. Some of them playing slightly different roles, but we're still playing a lot of young girls. We've got to remind ourselves of that at times. We got Dylan in there as a freshman. We got Emma, Peyton, Marley playing as sophomores in there. That Peyton played a little bit of a role player last year at the varsity level. Marley didn't play at all. Dylan wasn't playing at all. Emma Zabel was hurt for half the season last year. Never really fully got to kind of get in the rotation at the varsity level except for a couple of games. So she's really new to the mix, even though she was kind of with us last year. So, yeah, it's a lot of familiar faces, I think. But like you said, there's a lot of different combinations of people getting used to playing with one another. And I've mentioned this before, but I think that's what's great about us is we can win different ways. We talked about going really small tonight. Had for a couple of minute stretch, and that worked well for us. And then there's been other nights where we've said, hey, we're going 3 posts in there, and we're gonna beat them that way and grind it out a little bit more that way. And I think the kids are, when we've talked to them about it, in our conversations, they've done a really good job of being extremely mature about their role in those situations and, cheering their teammates on. But, I'm not one to be real quiet on the sideline. Surprised everyone.
I just learned that, yes.
Surprised everyone.
Yeah.
But, there's been games this year that there's not happened a lot in the past, but games this year where I was like, there's girls getting up on the bench and kind of bumping into me like, what are you doing? Get off of me.
Some energy.
But it's great to see that, that camaraderie that the girls have.
Well, we've got it's a great win to go on the break, but talk about what this 2 weeks will mean for you and your team. You got 5 days of dead time in there beginning Sunday, but coming out of the first part of the season with the win is nice. What do you do to get into 25?
Yeah, it's always great to go into break with a win. It's always great. So mission accomplished there. So yeah, we'll get together tomorrow morning for a little bit of stuff, and then we'll have our 5-day week, and it's much needed right now. I don't want to make excuses for our kids, and I told them before the game, I know this can be a long stretch in the season right now. Okay, we've been going at it for a month and a half. A lot of them had a lot of tests this week. Okay, our kids do a great job of getting in the weight room. Okay, we have games a couple of times a week. We're practicing extra. It can get to be a lot. So I know it can be a long grind. This gets to be a long part. So we got to lock in for the next hour and a half, and then we get 5 days off, and you get 2 weeks before we have to play again. So I think this is a much needed rest for us. I think our kids honestly are starting to get worn down. So this couldn't come at a better time. We got a scrimmage over break with a good Vinton team that I think will be good for us. And then we come back out of break, and it does get easier. We'll play West Delaware at third place. If I'm not mistaken, that's a top 10 3A team in the state. So we'll have to be ready to go again. And I think we have 3 games the following week. So we have 4 games in maybe 7 or 8 days. So it won't slow down after our couple-week break.
And there won't be any postponements, won't be any cancellations.
Absolutely.
There won't be any change to mess anything up. Jordan, congrats on the win, and have a happy holidays, and we'll talk to you in 25.
Thank you. You too, sir. Appreciate it. That's
head coach Jordan Conrad. Will return here for the second half. Boys trailing right now 29-12 here in Jesup. Back aboard on the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology as we underway in the second half. Jesup again trailing 29-12. Gladbrook-Reinbeck leading scorer is Brandon Mathern, 15 points, all 3-pointers, and that has made a big impact on how Jesup's gotten to this point. And first foul of the second half goes against Jesup. And GR again going towards that south basket and putting the points up.
Yeah, going right inside, and why wouldn't they? They've got the size in there. Like I said, they don't have a huge height advantage on us, but they definitely have some size. That Boyd and Eilers are a couple of solid kids. In fact, I'd just go into them every time down the court. I'd forget about those three-point shots altogether. But I'm also nearly 50 years old and love the true center and the inside game, which is kind of non-existent at this point in time.
Yeah, you look at just the conversations, what the NBA now is with the three-pointers, and I saw something the other day and the NCAA for that matter, of if you're running statistics, you're throwing up, if you're playing money ball, if you will,
yeah,
you're going with the three-pointer.
Absolutely. And you see it in college, the college women's game now too. They're living and dying by that three as well. I was reading an article the other day. It was an interview with Coach Bluter, who obviously retired this year, but she made a good point. She said it's just a lot harder to find the true big girl anymore because most of them are going volleyball.
Sure, sure.
At an early age, you don't even you don't have the same bunch to pick from as you used to. So that's another reason why the three-pointer is so prominent in that game as well, is just there's not as many bigs to choose from.
Or if you do have the bigs, they are also well-versed in shooting the three.
Yeah, they're three-pointers. Yep, absolutely.
36-14, Gladbrook-Reinbeck out of the gates already have put up 7 points compared to Jesup's 2. And that came from Ryan Treptow. Gladbrook-Reinbeck well-conditioned. They're controlling this game right now.
Yeah.
Boyd leans in baseline, bobbles away, gets his own rebound, and a foul underneath. Actually, turnover underneath.
Didn't see that. I don't.
Carried the ball. Is that what he said? Is that what that was?
Yeah, I think it was almost like a over and back, like a half court call, but that.
Masteller sees a little jumper out. Nice 8-footer, could have looked like it was in line to go.
At GR, they get up and down so quick.
And Austin Mathern.
And have such a nice inside-out game. We were just talking about that three. I love watching a team like this, and I hate to give them too much props here because they are the opponent, but they really play to their personnel. Run some great sets for their bigs and very efficient ball club. Coach knows who he's got, and he's using them well.
Brent Bengen, he's first-year head coach for Gladbrook-Reinbeck, assisted by Mike Bengen, Brian Grooms, Dan Smolt. Joe Schmines is the head coach for Jesup, assisted by Mike Johnson, Steve Schmidt, Brock Sabers, Rodney Selesky.
Of course, Mike Bengen, you might recognize him if you've been around track or cross country over the years. He is a long-time starter for both starter, meaning the guy that shoots the gun, for both cross-country meets and track meets. Great guy. I always enjoy shooting it with him.
No pun intended.
No, actually, there was no
pun intended. Okay.
That's how dumb I am, Nate.
5:08 to go, third quarter. Jesup with a possession. Quick pass to Treptow. He's only been held to 2 points tonight. He's the leading scorer on this team.
That's
Taken
a pretty
before.
move. Pretty move and a great example of what Treptow's capable of. And like you said, he's struggled tonight offensively. But that, man, talk about finding your way to the hoop and making the defense look a little silly for a sec there.
Boyd missed shot. Vogel, he's been getting the rebounds tonight. Treptow sees an opportunity, and he takes it with a three-pointer.
Be good to see Treptow heat up.
38-19.
Speaking of Treptow, got both of the sisters in the house tonight. Angie and Emily.
No. Try again. Amanda.
Amanda and Emily. Angie, of course,
You're
is the
into
mother.
calling everybody's their mom's name tonight.
Yeah. I mean, the parents are our age, so or closer to our age, so those are the ones that I've always talked to, communicated with over the years.
Yeah, Amanda running cross country over at University of Nebraska. Or no, she's at Wichita State. And Emily just wrapped up at UNO. She's coaching girls middle school this year.
Yeah,
Jesup.
That's great to get somebody like that on staff.
Deep three. Gladbrook continues to build. Give credit for that basket to Austin Mattern. Miss from Jesup.
Speaking of Angie Treptow, though, that's a gal who has spent a ton of time in the gym with not only her own kids, but everybody else's kids as well. She's done a lot of coaching over the years and opened up the gym for kids and just really invested a lot of hours trying to get the various programs successful.
Of course, Darren and Angie, the PA voice, Darren, and she's a spotter out there for football. Timeout, one on the floor. As they get that full minute timeout, and good chance to talk about, speaking of support out there, the ball field project that's taken place. We talked about it during the girls' game, Luke, but, trying to bring the softball, baseball complexes up to, I guess, modern conditions, if you will.
Yeah.
And there's been some key donors here recently I think we're well over $700,000 that has been raised.
Yeah, we got to be. I mean, of course, we had the huge donation by Dave and Kathy Sabers last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess it's been now. And then, this week we're able to share out Mark and Deb Collette. They gave a substantial donation, $100,000, and I don't think we can underscore enough what that means to a campaign like this. That's just a massive chunk of money. And as we said before during the girls' game, Mark and Deb, huge supporters of the community as a whole. They've been very instrumental in the many parks that we have throughout the community, and then of course the Get Back on the Track campaign, they gave a sizable donation to that. So very appreciative of their support as we watch Michael Boyd do work underneath, the 6'5" senior center for the Rebels, putting more points on the board for them. And then Jack and Jill Berg, who I'm not familiar with. They're actually neighbors of you, Nate. They live, I guess that would be up the road from you, if I understand my directions.
Up the hill, as I say.
Up the hill.
Yeah.
Have sounds like 6 kids in the community. I don't know a lot about them. We talked in the girls' game how, for me, it's just cool to see the people that come out of the woodwork to support these things. So Jack and Jill DeBerg, or Berg, not DeBerg, Berg. We do have a teacher on staff, DeBerg. They gave $50,000 to this project. So obviously they've got some kids that are probably going to benefit from this new facility, but still, man, just a chunk of money. And then of course the Lions Club, they've been supporting everything over the years. Big with the Iowa Eye Donors Network, work with the Iowa Department of the Blind. They come into our schools and do the testing of our kids' eyes in the younger grades. But they've supported everything over the years, the Get Back on the Track campaign. But they came through with $40,000. So again, can't say enough about them and all of their members who just go out and do great work in the community. And I made the comment last game about how one of the fundraising things they have is the the big wiener stand at Farmers Day, where they sell those foot-long hot dogs and the bratwurst, and that's a great way to support the Lions Club and a great way to support their community, because so many of those dollars are coming right back into the community. So anyway, long story short, huge shout out and thank you to all those folks and your continued support of Jesup Community School System, the athletics, and the community as a whole.
If you want to learn more, Jesup Legacy Fund, is that what that is?
Jesup Legacy Fund.
It's on Facebook. If you want to be able to learn more or contribute, reach out to the school or Luke or I or Anthony Baugh in the middle of the night. Go ahead and reach out to him.
Yeah, we'll get you pointed in the. We are not directly involved in that campaign, other than we support the heck out of it. We really enjoy being able to publicize these great donations by people. But if you also want to support it, give us a shout, and we'll make sure you get in touch with the right people.
Jesup, an uphill climb here as GR's Brandon Mathern continues to rain threes as he's at 21 points. And it's a 51-24 game. Treptow has found his way back into the scoring line with 10. So foul on the floor, that'll be the second one against Clark, the first team foul for GR.
Merry Christmas to my friend Bob Wymore, tuning in from the warm state of Florida, cheering on his grandson, Gage Wymore, number 1 for the Jayhawks. He's enjoying temperatures probably much nicer than what we're enjoying. Right? Or are we enjoying those?
I don't know. That's not a word that comes to mind. Treptow outside shot, no good. Pulled down with Eilers. Under 10 seconds here in the third quarter. Got another quick one. Abe Sullivan on the floor along with Gage, Treptow, Vogel, and Masteller, and that's the end of the third stanza, 51-24.
So I tell you, Nate, as long as it seemed to take for that girls game to get over, this one's going at a breakneck pace, and definitely not in the favor of our Jayhawks, as they currently lead by 27 points. I'm sorry, they currently trail by 27 points.
Yeah, it was a challenge. When you look at where Jesup's been in that second quarter, they were outscored 11-2, and then you get in this third quarter, and you said it was a quick one, and they put up a fair amount of points.
I truly didn't think their size was going to be a big problem. I thought maybe we matched up fairly comparably, but it's been a big problem. They're, Drew Eilers and Michael Boyd underneath have been they have been problematic for the Jayhawks tonight, to put it lightly, or not lightly.
22-12 was the margin that Gladbrook-Reinbeck had in that third quarter over the Jayhawks. Coming in the fourth, GR will have possession of the ball. Again, Austin Mathern gets the inbound, but again, Brandon Mathern, he's been the man on the floor tonight. 21 points, missed shot. Masteller pulls that away, looking for somebody to help bring that up the floor. Treptow almost sees it taken away. Vogel wants a three. Rim no good. Moore couldn't grab it. Boyd pulls it in.
Rebels back quickly, going with all of their starters except for Eilers. Currently we've got Cameron C. in for Eilers.
Treptow across mid-floor. Nick Moore was looking at it, tries to bring Boyd off a little bit. Ball gets loose. Paxton covers it, but we're going to see a travel as he gets caught up on the floor.
And as you noted earlier, Nate, GR, they did make a trip to the state championship football down in
Cedar Falls.
Cedar Falls, not down, over in Cedar Falls. And typically when you've got good success in fall like that, you're bringing along at least a fair number of those athletes into your winter programs, and likely going to see some success there too. And we're seeing that here. And you know, you got some of these kids. They've got football strength to them.
Yeah, I was able to call their semifinal and championship game in football on the High School Sports Network. So, you know, it was good to see them. Unfortunately, they came out with a loss, 51-12 to Remsen St. Mary's, but strong season nonetheless.
Yeah. You get yourself to the championship game, you're doing some things right.
Yeah, that was what? It was 3 high schools in Butler County or Grundy County that were in the championship game.
That's pretty amazing. Wow.
Oh, travel
boy.
underneath they're going to call against Treptow.
Almost got to reward a kid for something that acrobatic.
You know, GR, they've slowed down a little bit. They still have some energy in the tank. They still keep moving it, even with that gap. They just keep building. They've been putting up almost 58 points per game. They've only allowed 40 on average.
It's a good way to win games.
You know, beat Sumner Fred by 18. Doubled up on AGWSR by about 30. Same thing with North Tama. About 15 points over South Hardin.
GR's had some great basketball over the years and graduated a lot of really good ball players out of that program.
Yeah, about 9 years ago, I think it was 2016, we faced them in the first round of the state tournament.
Yep, and they have missed.
We were playing 1A.
Is he, I can't think of his name. Did he end up being Mr. Basketball that year?
Oh, yeah, I can't think who you're talking about.
He was a great three-point shooter.
Yeah.
He went on to play for the Upper Iowa Peacocks and had a great run there as well. I should know his name. There's a travel.
A little extra step. Jesup will get the ball back.
6 minutes to go here on a Friday night.
Vogel sets that pick, looking for Treptow. A little no-look. 3 chance, no good. And Jesup unable to get that rebound.
Just
Bounces
not
away.
falling. I mean, you know, Vogel's a kid who usually pretty good for several threes on any given night, and they're just not dropping for him tonight.
8 total now for Austin Mather. Treptow trying to bust his way in, does draw the foul on a twirl.
So I don't know what GR's got in the pipeline, Nate, behind these guys, but they're going to graduate most of this team that they've got out right now, with the exception of Hudson Clark. I mean, you could say the same about Jesup, but
We've got some in the tank coming up.
yeah, I just, you know, you've mentioned several times, GRs, they're pretty slim on the bench, so I don't know if they just don't put any guys on their senior bench, or if that's just a...
Yeah, and I don't know what the JV roster looked like or how that makeup was. I didn't see. Just trying to look in the stands.
I think we beat them pretty good.
I would guess any of the boys that are off to the side over there were in the JV team if you're looking at the student section. So there's a few down in there.
Yep.
And probably a couple that are on the bench still. Another back-to-back 3 for Treptow. All of a sudden he's at 16, but we got some catching up in the last almost 4.5 minutes. And Eilers, a little fadeaway. Foul, no shot or no?
No, that was a offensive foul on
Okay.
GR. I think it was an off-ball foul. To be honest, I don't know what the sign the ref made there. I don't know what that means.
We got some sweat on the floor down at the other end, and
that's not a signal I'm familiar with.
do you think he just made it up? Is that possible?
Possible, unlikely.
Roll the dice, and no one really knows all of the calls or all of the hand signals.
I think if you're out there, you should know them all. These guys probably know them all. They don't always get the right one.
All right, sweat's dried up. 4:27 o'clock, and Ryan Treptow with no coverage as GR pulls back, crosses midcourt, tries another three.
That was a pretty shot. I mean, he just stepped into that jump shot. Perfect form, nothing but net.
19 total now for Ryan. Struggled in that first half to score. He's averaged 24 and a half. And a little extra step for Boyd, and I don't know when and if we'll see Brett Bengen go to his bench and give some other people chances to play. And I would imagine Joe's not going to make a change unless he sees GR make a change. Ball knocked away.
I believe that foul will go against Brandon Mathern.
I think some of these missteps from GR, they're getting a little tired out there, so they're making some mistakes. They play hard.
Yeah, they do.
Vogel into Ryan Treptow, sees a double team. They're going to double up on him for sure. Masteller saves it from out of bounds, but gives it to GR.
Good effort by Masteller. Again, Masteller, just a sophomore. Another travel by GR. Masteller really makes a little progress every game out, I think. I've been impressed with him this year.
Treptow breaks into traffic, little turnaround, 6-footer, no good. And Parker can't get a hold of it. Nick Moore trying to play some interference. Approaching the 3-minute mark in this game.
Yeah, I don't know, Nate. GR's only got three guys on the bench that haven't been in the game. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll get in the game. This is about the time you'd expect to see him.
Yeah, within the next minute or so. Masteller pulls it in. Treptow sees the defenders chasing him down. They know he's the guy to try and contain. But Vogel stakes a straight on three. He had his points early on. Adding to it here in the second half.
And you mentioned earlier, you are seeing GR's wearing down a little bit. They've been playing fast all night long, and you know the easy thing would be to say, man, why wasn't Jesup playing like this in the first half? Well, GR was playing much different in the first half too.
And it's that gentleman right there, Brandon Mattern. 3 points. 3-point shot has been his game. Jesup will have the ball. Mattern again with 23 total points, and there's your difference. Been hard to contain him. Nice roll over to Masteller, who takes an outside shot.
I will say we're hitting shots we weren't hitting in the first half, and even into the third quarter, you know.
2 minutes. And we're going to see mass substitutions for Jesup.
Nice patient move by Michael Boyd, the senior center. And we are going to see those substitutions that we've been talking about for the Rebels as well.
Seahawks, Wymore. Clayberg's out there. Cameron and Sullivan. 63-38. GR has brought in their substitutions as well. Kleber dish off. Wymore. Sullivan breaks in the paint. Up and no good. Rebound. Kleber will save it from out of bounds, and Gage Wymore. Little bounce, but give it to Cameron. Deep three doesn't go. Back on defense. 116. GR slowing it down.
Oh, I got some clarification from Joyce Donnelly Schmidt. It was the call earlier that I was not familiar with. It was a flop call, no contact flop call. So that makes sense.
Clayberg outside shot jams between the rim and the board.
Oh no, I missed it.
You missed it. Here you go, right here on the replay.
The wedgie.
Out in the wedge.
Yes. That'll give them something to talk about tonight.
Seahawks
Right
on the
there.
inbound baseline.
They had Dan.
Looking for somebody. Cameron has it. Into Sullivan between the legs, bracing the paint. Can't get it outside. Now right side layup is going to count in there for Clark. 40 seconds. Kleber now to Seahawks. Little dish back to Dan. Looking to bust it out. Seahawks. Back to Dan. There's Sullivan. Someone needs to take a shot. 16 the play clock.
There you go.
Now Cameron. Peyton Cameron.
Cameron in the books.
65-40.
Good to see all these fellas on the court tonight getting a little game action. GR content just dribbling it out.
65-38 is our final, as Jesup will go down to a record of 2-4 overall and remains at 1-2 in conference play. Gladbrook-Reinbeck 5-1, 2-1 in conference play. Got out of the gates good, but it's hard to play catch up when someone's dropping the three as much as they were, especially with Brandon Mathern, and I mean their energy too.
Yeah, I mean
quickness.
that just kind of hit a buzzsaw, and I think what hurt us more. Yeah, obviously Mathern, incredible player, but Eilers and Boyd, I think, hurt us as much as anybody inside. We just that's a couple of really tough kids. Even when they weren't pointing the ball or putting the ball up, they were passing around to the perimeter. Just really nice squad, fun team to watch. And Jesup, they couldn't hit the broadside of the barn for half the game there. So they'll be better.
They'll be better. They'll be back. They're going to get a break here. They'll go down to Benton Community after Christmas for their annual scrimmage and face against Benton Community, and also I believe Anamosa is involved in that. But we will see them when they bounce back. Our next broadcast will actually be a wrestling meet that will come up, and we will have that for you on January the 7th. South Hardin is one of the schools that's a part of that. It's also going to be wrestling senior night. I think it's also military appreciation night. They got some special uniforms and singlets or
bringing up Mr. Vogel for that.
Yep, Levi Vogel will be up here for that broadcast, and our next basketball broadcast will come up on January 9th against Grundy Center. That will be a boy-girl doubleheader. We'll have it for you right here on the J-Hawks Sports Network. But appreciate everybody who's joined us into this season so far, and have a great Christmas. But Luke, you'll stay out of trouble over break, won't you?
I'll try to. I mean, there's no guarantees. You know me. I like to party. Merry Christmas to you, Nate.
Definitely. I've experienced that.
that.
So, everybody have a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever it is you celebrate. Festivus, I believe, is past. Do you celebrate Festivus?
Festivus for the rest of us.
All right. Yeah, we'll get the pole out of the crawl space. Anyway, for Luke Baldwin, as far as also for on-site producer Anthony Baugh, camera operator Eric Clark, I'm Nate Clayberg from the upper patio here in the South Gym in Jesup. Boys go down 65-38. Girls did get the win earlier tonight. Watch this game again on replay on Facebook and YouTube. This is the Jayhawks Sports Network from Heartland Technology with music courtesy of bensound.com. Go Jayhawks. Merry Christmas and good night.